Well folks, it's the good news wifey for Cruden Bay, Jill here. Well, in the 20 years that I've been back in Cruden Bay here, I've done a lot of thinking about Slains Castle. I have videoed it, I have photographed it. Well, there's something that I've always wanted to do, and that's simply to walk up to Slains Castle in the dark and see what goes on there in the dead of the night.
There's nothing left in this body. I'm nothing. Nae life, nae soul. Feared and hated. I'm the monster that breathing men would kill. I am Dracula!
Oh dear.
You'd never think from Dracula that it would be inspired by a castle in the northeast of Scotland, and actually the connections, and once you start unpicking the history and you realise how much time Stoker spent up here, and you realise how much he kind of adopted the local kind of mythology and the language, the influence from the castle. Yeah, it's amazing, and to have the chance to do a show against the ruins of the castle that inspired it. There's not that many times in the world you get to do that, and it's wonderful.
Dracula with a kilt on. Absolutely brilliant.
Very fashionable. Well, the reason why Dracula appeals to me as a character is because he's obviously a legendary character with a lot of backstory behind him, and there's different ways you can play him, and I love being able to have a character that I can just kind of, pardon the pun, sink my teeth into. And the idea that Martin had with creating a Doric version of Dracula in the home of, you know, Dracula almost with Slains Castle was such an ambitious and such a amazing sounding project that I had to get involved. It's been great.
Can I ask you, do you speak the Doric?
A wee bitty. I'm a wee bitty. I struggle a wee bit with Doric, but I can speak a wee bit, aye. Joy biding in our bonny land. There's ne'er fittest soil in all this land that's maybe made better by the bleed of men. Come in if you want, your choice, and leave behind some of the happiness you bring.
Oh, I'm scared. I am! Up here on my own. The batteries on my torch have gone out, and I've got to think I've got to walk down that blooming road on my own. Do you think I'll get a lift?
You could always try flying on a bat. Yeah.
We've got two bats here. So you are actually authentic Peterhead bats.
Aye.
For Peterhead. Ah, so you are Doric speaking bats?
Aye.
But you don't say a lot, do you?
No.
How do you play the part of a bat?
You kind of just wing it, to be honest, pun not intended. I'm not sure, our main goal is just to be very creepy towards the audience members and the cast crew itself.
Well, you can tell it in your eyes. You can, honestly. You just need to look in your eyes and you look creepy. You've been trained to do this, haven't you?
Sadly, yes.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
Gregor?
Yeah?
It's aware that you were fluttering about as bats.
Well, yeah, because at the very start, me and Tony go about the audience and put red face paint on their necks. And we've also got bat wings. So, yeah, I think they knew that we were bats.
Well, there's a lot of people missed out on this production, haven't there?
Yes.
Would you think they've been feared to come up that dark road?
Well, we give torches to the people that haven't brung torches. So, yeah, we bring.
You've thought of everything to draw in the crowds.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, definitely. I think you've done exceedingly well. Brilliantly well. It's
Thank you.
genius, actually.
Thank you.
So, sorry. I thought you were starting.
Oh, no.
A broch wine.
I am
This is a broch wine. Okay, right, we're in our deepest Doric now. You're a broch wine. So what has brought you along for the broch to Cruden Bay, to Slane's Castle the night?
Well, we've just finished performing Dracula, our show that we've been doing here for a few nights. So aye, that's basically it.
Which part have you been playing?
I was playing Mina Harker, and this was my sister.
It's me, I'm Lucy.
Was this a real life characters in this story of Dracula?
Aye.
Can you tell us what part did they play in the story?
So they're two sisters who get seduced by Dracula and eventually end up getting bitten by them, and Van Helsing comes to their rescue.
So you got bit by Dracula.
Yes.
But listen, you have survived to tell the tale, have you not?
Hi.
You look quite well and healthy.
I just
Have you not been feared? Have you been feared tonight?
aye, he's quite scary.
I wouldn't know what to get in alongside of him.
No.
Would you do this again?
Oh, aye,
Definitely.
Do it all again.
Oh. Are you not feared? Do you not realise that there's bats flying about as we speak? Look there, look, it's up there!
It's quite creepy, like, especially if all the fire's off and all the lights are doing. It's really
Dark.
creepy and fine.
But even during a show, it's a really tense atmosphere. You can see the audience just what's gonna happen next. But it's a really good atmosphere as well.
What did happen next? What was the spookiest bit for you?
Probably when we got our heads chopped off.
Good God!
Uh,
Are you a figment of our imagination? You look as though your head's firmly screwed on the top of your shoulders there.
well, Van Helsing hopefully brings us back to life by the end of the show.
Hopefully he's done it right.
Aye, hopefully.
I think he is. He made a good job of it. But this is what acting is all about, isn't what acting is all about? It's about drawing out people's imagination. And I think Theatre Modo has done that very well tonight.
Thank you.
I'm playing Professor Van Helsing in this production of Dracula.
What inspired you to go for this role, this part?
So what inspired me to go for this role is the character itself, and the way he obviously wanted to kill Dracula in the end, and it all got the spookiness, and he's quite a serious character as well. Van Helsing is a vampire hunter, and I think he hears about Dracula in his story, So he goes to find him to kill him.
Did you succeed?
In our one we did.
Oh, brilliant!
So we decided that it'd be best to have like a dark atmosphere because of the whole storyline, and it's good because when we first start it's quite bright still. Not bright, but it's still quite light, and it like throughout the story the darkness comes in, especially when we go into battle at the end to kill Dracula. So it's a good atmosphere for the end. We had the lanterns around for the start. They were what hypnotised us to come into the home of Dracula. There's various ways we could have killed Dracula. We could have put a stake through the heart, but we decided to use light. So we all had a light device each, and it got shined into him. So, and then that killed him.
Oh, the light!
Yeah.
Of course!
So obviously vampires don't like daylight or light, so we decided to use light as a way of killing him. Yeah.
So I would gather now that the spooky element will come out of Slane's castle, because it's actually, he's now dead.
Yeah.
He's dead, you just killed him in this production! Yes! Well done!
All the fat cam's covered with a towel.
I need 2 more.
From the one that came in the towels.
2 more towels, aye.
Well, it's the remains of Dracula, isn't it? That's remains of Dracula.
Dracula's a good boy.
He's dead.
Yep, he is dead.
He's dead. Now what we need to do, Aidan, is we need to get somebody who's not frightened to go inside the castle.
But mostly it's just a case of sitting there and thinking, okay, at least the audience can still see me, so you got to keep up the character.
That's right. I never thought about that.
Is that people on the road there?
No, I think
Very creepy. It's very bumpy because it's full of potholes. So you just got to take your time and don't be alarmed if animals jump out in front of you.
Animals? You mean animals?
Well, like foxes and mice, vampires,
Bats?
bats. Aye. I can't actually find the handle. Oh, there it is. Yep. Thank you for the lift, though.
my pleasure. Right, wash your feet there.
No problem.
Good night!
Okay, good night.
Thanks for coming.
Right.
Good night!
Bye.
Well, here we are back in Slane's studio. Well, and there was me thinking I would have a quiet wee stroll up in the evening to Slane's. Well, you just never know. You just never know with me what's going to happen next. And in my studio here in Cruden Bay, Slane's studio, I've tried to bring Slane's castle to life again. Slane's castle's famed things was that it was inspired the writer of the Dracula story, Bram Stoker. I've seen Slains in many lights and facets, but I was intrigued when one day I walked up to Slains and saw a goth. I even convinced the film crew of Seaside Secrets, who came to do a documentary on Bram Stoker's connection, that indeed my thought was that Bram Stoker's spiritual home is still here at Slains. I was interviewed by Seaside Secrets to why I thought Slains Castle and this area inspired Bram Stoker. And then I did this article for the paper to tell about the documentary that was made. Well, I think it's time for me probably to punt out some of the stuff that I've done in the past of Bram Stoker's connection with a Slains Castle. So tune in the weeks to come. And in the interim, check out some of my other variety of stuff that I've done on YouTube. Simply Google YouTube Jill McWiliam and subscribe. I started a few months ago with no subscribers, and now I think I've got 102 subscribers. Now that's good news, especially for a local quine. So do subscribe. Simply press the subscribe button. All it means is that you'll get alerted to any new video that I punt out. And you know what? Doesn't cost you anything. And the second bit of good news tonight, it's free. YouTube's free to watch.